Hey there, welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Siobhan. So Siobhan says, I'm in my mid-20s and began to feel very fatigued about trying to make decisions about my career, my future, and which path to follow going down as an adult. Therefore, I took some time to relax and then decided to follow my best guess, which was academia. I'm currently doing an MSc, which will lead to a PhD, and sometimes I have thoughts around whether this is right. How will I know before I waste too much time? And how much of this needs to be planned and how much can just be left alone? I attended a research seminar in which an ex-academic talked about all the issues in the sector and how to get out of academia, which is difficult, and this has me worrying. So my question is, will my career path just unfold naturally without me having to plan or worry about whether I'm on the right track? Okay, so will my career path unfold naturally without me having to plan or worry about whether I'm on the right track? Well, yes, you're worrying, but it's maybe, my yes is maybe not what your mind thinks it is. So when I say yes to that, I'm not saying planning won't happen. I'm not saying things won't happen, actions, research, all of that might not. I'm not saying those things aren't going to happen. What I mean more, what I'm pointing to more when I say yes, is that what's happening essentially right now and always for all of us is the mind is up here spinning in circles. It is reflecting other thoughts, which are reflections of other thoughts. So it's like, what should I do, and how much, and have I gone too far, and when will it be too late, and when will I know, and how will I decide? That's what a mind does. There is no way to change that. There is no way to manage that. There is no way to stop that. What we do in that is we see that that is not giving us any helpful information. Again, you just look for yourself. Don't take my word for it. It's reflections upon reflections upon reflections. It's like you throw one thought down a hall of mirrors, and that one thought is just bounced off in all kinds of different ways that maybe look slightly different, but when you really look, it's kind of the same thought over and over and over again. And we can hear it in the question, right? What if, and oh no, and what if I'm wrong, and how will I know? That is just how that goes, and there is nothing in that pinball game, right? Of the ball all over the place. There's nothing in that that's even resolvable, or that would ever need to be resolved, because it's just reflections of the same thought over and over again. So all of that is unhelpful, unnecessary. It's fine. It's not a problem, but you really want to keep seeing that that is just a mind doing what a mind does, and there's nothing necessary or helpful for you in that. Now, when you ask, will my career path unfold naturally without me having to plan or worry about whether I'm on the right track? Okay, so that's the worry. Am I on the right track? Will I know in time? What should I do? What should I do? Yes, that has nothing to do with your career unfolding. Let's just say it that way. Okay, I don't know. We don't need to get into like the nitty gritty of that, but just in a bigger sense, see if you can kind of see what I'm pointing to here. That is happening. Meanwhile, there are actions taken, as there have been. A break was taken, a move into academia was taken, some questioning of that is happening. All of that is unfolding while the mind is up here in this hall of mirrors, just bouncing off the same thoughts and making them seem slightly different, but they're really the same over and over and over again. See the independence in that. Feel into the independence of that. Life keeps moving, and the mind keeps repeating itself. Now again, just bear with me in terms of the language, but just for the sake of our illustration, two separate things. The worry that you feel in the planning you're talking about, planning to the extent that it's like, oh no, I need to figure it out, I need to think, I'd say that's pretty much worry. So no, you just want to keep seeing that is thought. And meanwhile, there's a deeper place to look. Like when we're actually here in life, you will see things. Maybe you are already about the career choices you want. That is what people mean. It's what I mean when I talk about the unfolding of things. it's just happening. And the more that we can just be in what's actually here, the more you see this reflective spin for what it is. It stops looking like there's anything to solve in there. And the more you're just here in each moment as it unfolds with no agenda, no preferences, no need, no rush to figure everything out. The urgency's up here. All the rush is up in thought. Right here, there's no urgency. There's no rush. I mean, again, that might be happening, but you can't rush this. As you know, you took a break and you kind of are just following breadcrumbs as you go. Like letting that just naturally unfold, which is effortless. It's obvious. It's how everything happens. In that, plans unfold as well. Plans happen. So again, we're not saying like you don't have to plan. This doesn't have to plan. This frantic, anxious, like, what should I do? What plan should I make? That's not where planning happens. Planning arises in real time. Planning arises naturally from the moment when there's something to do. When you got into your program, you had to plan some stuff, but you didn't have to do it from this urgent kind of repetitive place. The next step, like, hey, what needs to happen next? I need to fill out this paperwork. I need to find a place to live. I need to do this. I need to do that. That happens. It always has happened. It always will happen. It's happening in all areas of your life already. And it's happening in the career area. It's happening around this. It's just hard to see because the mind is up here repeating itself, getting louder and louder to try to get your attention. So when you say, will my path unfold naturally without me having to plan or worry about whether I'm on the right track, I just want you to look toward the fact that that's already happening. And best you can, watch the planning and worrying, that sort of planning and that worrying as something that, like, they're just not solving anything. Now, don't confuse planning and stuff that comes up around the future with certainty and knowing. Like, I don't think most people know. I don't think most people are in any kind of career path where they're like, I absolutely know this is what I'm meant to do and this is what I want. And sometimes people are, but that type of knowing is also a little thought-ish. That type of know, you don't need to have this perfect confidence that the mind creates. You don't have to know how the future is going to look. You can't. So if you're telling yourself you can, I mean, you're kind of fooling yourself. So all you can ever do is what's in front of you that makes sense. And again, you don't even have to do that. That's already what's happening. So that's really what I want you to see. What needs to happen is already happening. Things are followed. Preferences are actions are taken, all of that. But the more you can just be in what's real, not in the mind trying to solve a future problem, because that's not real. We cannot know the future. Be in what's real. You will see things and you will do things that make sense. So it's really just about where attention is shifting, coming down into now and watching things unfold from here versus spinning around in that merry-go-round up there, which is just nothing but stressful, nothing but scary. But you'll know you're up there because it's very repetitive and it's all about the future or the past. It has nothing to do, doesn't even know right now. So I hope something in that is helpful. Again, I know the mind won't like this, so when you listen to this, see if you can just settle and just listen from a deeper place and just see if you can see that this is already happening. I'm not trying to convince you of anything to do. I want you to see that things already have been naturally unfolding, and the mind just might have whatever conversation it wants to have about that, but it's already the case. So thanks for sending your question. You guys can send questions to askamy@thelittleschoolbigchange.com, and I will see you next week.